Oh, I've got no idea what I'm going to do a painting of. Oh, I really could do with some help around here. Hello. Hello, Smidge. Hi. Oh, are you going to help us with what to paint? Yes. Oh, well, that's convenient. What ideas have you got? What ideas have you got, Smidge, for the masterpiece? Smidge? Smidge, come on, the cameras are on, they're rolling, you're making me look like a fool. That was my plan all along, was it? Well, thank you very much, Smidge. You're supposed to be here to help. Now, the cameras are on and the audience are waiting for a painting idea, please. Mr. Smidge, Master Smidge. I got a couple. Well, I was thinking some distant hills. Distant hills, yeah, I can imagine that. Distant hills, sounds good. What about in front of the distant hills? What shall I do there? Some water. Water? Yes. Oh, well, I could do water, yeah. Any other ideas? Yes, I think a cone, trees, and some grass. Oh, well, don't need you anymore then. Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. Oh yeah, we're painting again. So we've got the canvas set up, covered it with some liquid white. And remember, always, don't put too much on. Because if you put too much on, you're in trouble. So let's get going, let's get cracking, let's get moving, let's zoom in. We'll zoom in this bit. That'll do. So we can put in our sky. So what colours have we got? It should really be what colours have we got missing? Then again, I think I'll be okay. So, I've got on my palette some titanium white, Naples yellow, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow, sap green, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, Van Dyke brown, and burnt sienna. This is our array of colours which we will create our masterpiece after I fall. I say fallen. There we go. Just move some stuff so I don't fall. Alright, let's get started. Let's not hang about. Ultramarine blue, ultramarine blue. Let's get a sky going. The liquid white is on. So, I'm not going to go too mad with the blending for this one. I kind of want there to be a bit of a roughness to it. Roughness. Nice sky. I love the sky to about there, so I'm just using like these little strokes. Just knock off the excess paint. I've got some paper on the top of my easel I can just use. And then lightly going over this. Just lightly going over. I'm going to leave some of these gaps. That's what I mean about not over blending. I'm going to leave some of these gaps in the sky and they can look like possible clouds. Okay. Bring the sky guy down to about there. Just go over that. There we go. I think that'll do for our sky. Now, we want distant hills, don't we? That's what Smidge was saying. Distant hills. So let's grab a little bit of the old ultramarine blue, a little bit of alizarin crimson. Let's have a look at that. I want a bit more blue in it actually. A bit more blue. It's just blue and crimson. I don't want too much because this is quite far away. Distant hills. We'll have our distant hills about here. There's one there. One here as well. Don't really want too much detail either because far away. Maybe there's another there. Like that'll fade that away there. Okay. Just sort of stand back, have a look at that. Try and get rid of those lines. I don't want any lines. Using my 1-inch brush, I'm going to blend over that completely. Just to get rid of any hard edges, soften it up. That softens that up completely. Goes even further back by doing that. Now, a bit of the alizarin crimson and the ultramarine blue. A bit more crimson. I want to have water here. Okay, just sort of stand back, have a look at that. Blending that together as well. Bring that to about there. Just pull them down. Go across. I think I'll leave it at that. Quite like that. So now, put that there. Come forward. I think maybe some trees. Yeah, some of this green and crimson and blue and brown. Let's use this colour. It's a dark greeny colour. I'll put trees in front of all this. Maybe, ooh, ideas. Maybe I could start with it. Let's get some of that blue and crimson, a bit of green. A bit more blue in this colour. Let's try this. Just the corner of the brush and then We'll do these type of trees. I'm going to throw in a little bit more white. Just a little bit of white in it as well. Just to lighten it up a little bit. This is really faded here. In fact, I think that's probably the best colour I've got so far. That sort of faded greenish, bluish colour. I'll put in a few trees using that. Tree like that. It's not there. Maybe there's a hill here. Something like that. Something like this. Maybe this is all land here. Just use a fan brush. Yeah, something like that. That's all the land. Maybe there's a... Go into a bit darker. A bit of the green and the blue. The brown. And you can get really darker trees in front. Some of these are bigger than others. Some are a bit greener, some are a bit of a reddish tint. Maybe there's one there as well. You can see how these now, they look further away. Gives it a bit of depth, doesn't it? Gives us that bit of depth which we want. Same, we can do this as well on this side. You just go back and forth, back and forth. There's another one. Looks a bit funny. That makes it individual. It's an individual tree. I don't want to change it because when you look in the woods, when you go down in the woods today, you'd get blown all over because it's really windy out there at the moment. I gave the woods a miss. Made a quick walk, quick run back. Didn't want to stay in that wind. But yeah, when you go in the woods, you have a look at the trees. Or even if you've got a few trees in your garden, you'll see each tree is different. Everyone's different. Right, let's put in... Let's get a little bit of this brown. So I flatten the brown out. Flatten it out, then use the knife to go whoop, And then you get brown on the tip of your knife, the top of the knife, and then you can go create some tree trunks. And there's a few more. Just creating a few little things, and now what I could do with let's use I might put some dark down here actually, just to get things going. Get some of this dark. We usually paint on the brush. Save us from using more, you see. Just use what we've got. We've already got some. Might as well use it. Just blocking it in. Get some dark down here. It's got quite a warm undertone to it. Might get a little bit more. Yeah, something like that. So now we've got all this, I'll start highlighting some of these trees. But first, I wanted to do this. I was looking at the trees, and I was like, oh, well, I could bring this tree forward now. Maybe that tree's down here, and that one's, maybe that's there. Maybe this one as well. It comes down here, and this one comes there. Just gives us a little bit more of this sort of look. And maybe here there's a few bushes and stuff, and things growing, just using the fan brush. I don't know, some bushes and things. This is where people go and look at the water. They go and stand on this edge. So I'll put a bit of grass here. Just using a bit of green, getting it in, get the green into this ground. Okay, let's highlight these trees. Got rid of most of the paint off this brush. Perfect. Let's get some bit of sap green, and then some of the cadmium yellow and sap green. Cad yellow, sap green. Thinking I might have my light coming from that way, so I'll highlight these trees. A bit of the yellow and look, look, look. If it doesn't stick, you just need a little bit of something to thin it out. And then that'll help you. A little bit of liquid white or something. Or even a little bit of linseed oil, that works. But just don't highlight every little spot. So I reckon I could go a bit lighter. So I might go with this Naples yellow into my colour. imagine the light is zinging off this tree here. So I try to save my lights. If I think, oh yeah, I could go lighter, then I can go lighter. But if you go light, then you decide, oh, I want to go darker. Makes it a bit harder. Anyway, there we go. And then the other tree, get some more sap green in this. I don't want to go as bright, so the light's getting some of it. But it's really dark in this area. Alright, let's get some of this yellow ochre, cad yellow. Throw a bit of white in it. I want to start putting in our ground. Bit of sap green in that as well. I'm going to carry on using this. Maybe there's a bit of light hitting some of these areas. And I'll just sort of push up like this. I'll make this quite an easy painting. You could do this one. You could do this one. Leave some of those dark spots. Think about light as well. Started thinking about light. So we've got more light on this side. And then it's quite darker on that side, so I'll use a bit more of the sap green in with the yellow. Sap green and yellow. See how you can bring that together. Bit more of the light, bit more of the light here. Really easy, just pushing, I'll just zoom out. Okay, and you're thinking light's coming this way, so your light's over here. But when you go back over there, you're going to be going dark. Okay, so I wanted a cabin in here as well, didn't I? Where shall I put the nice cabin? If I was in a cabin, Oh, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, if I could just build a cabin and live in it. Use this dirty old knife. No, I'll use that clean one. That's better. Let's go. Where would we go? Maybe we would go there. Maybe there. I think if I lived here, I'd want a bit of protection from these trees, so I think I would go there. Just removing paint. Yeah, I think that's where I would go. Right, let's get some of this brown. Cut across. I'll roll with paint. Let's do the outside eave. And then zip. I have to stoop down a little bit because if I do it at eye level I'll get it wrong. Anyway, that's just blocking in the basic shape of the building. You can sort of draw it as well while you're doing it. If you imagine like this has to line up with this, so you can kind of go like that, just so you can imagine how it is if you're doing this. I could do a zooming in. There you go. Yeah, so if you imagine this needs to kind of line up there, you can draw the shapes in while you're painting, just to make it easier for yourself to get a better idea. Let's have a look at that. That would actually be more like there. But hey, it's just a painting, isn't it? Just want to get people to think, oh, there's a cabin there, somebody lives there. Right, let's get rid of this burnt sienna. Throw a bit of white in it. Ooh, bit of white. See if I can get that on camera. White and burnt sienna in with the Van Dyke brown. Get a lovely warm orangey brown. And then very lightly, no pressure. Just going along the front of the building like that. And then in a bit more the darker colour, you can make a darker highlight. Get a little bit of that brown on your knife and scraping all the boards. And get a little bit of the dark, and then you can dull that bit a little bit. take a little bit of the dark down. Just adds a bit of dark there. Now, what kind of roof shall I have? I might use a bit of the crimson actually. Bit of the white. And crimson. Oh, that's quite nice. I'll use that. A little bit of a there. And then go a bit darker. A bit more red in it. Cut across. Cut across. A little roll of paint again. Using the red. And then down. Blip, 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 blip. Yeah. Now I want a door. You know what colour door we never have? We never have a yellowy coloured door, do we? I don't mind a blue door. What about a green door? Yeah, if I get some of this green and yellow. Let's put in a green door. Bit more like green on there. Yeah. Oh, I've got a green door. A little bit of the this bluey colour that was left over, we can put a window in there. Yeah, maybe we could have another window. I might have a window here as well. Something like that, and then I'll just get a little bit of this white, just create a line, so the light might lighten this up here. Yeah, something like that. Just gives it a bit more light to it. Use this fan brush just to clean things up a bit. Get some of this growing up the side of the building. Well, maybe. Why don't we put a bit of a path in there as well? Maybe this guy, he walks out here and he walks over there. He walks to the woods over that way. Oh, I've got an idea. Yeah, before he lived here, someone else used to be scared of the Loch Ness monster. Yeah, the last person that lived here was scared of the Loch Ness monster, so they built a fence. They wanted a little fence along here, just using a little bit of the knife. And line. You could just about see that. And then the rest of this fence, there's a bit of a fence post there and one there. Yeah, there's another one there. The fence runs up there. And the rest of it's gone. The rest of it's fallen. And just get a bit of dark colour. Just add a bit of a shadow. I might use the knife just to lighten up some of this path. Something like that. Maybe. What if? Here's an idea. This is a tree that once grew here, but this is all that remains. I've actually got quite a few of these just across the road from where I live. There's these trees and they're just like this. They had their day and they're still there. It amazes me actually that they're still there. Because usually they would chop them down, wouldn't they? I'll give this tree a bit of light. Get a bit of white. Just tap in the fan brush. Giving it a tap and then lighten up that one side. Yeah, but it is strange. They're still there. And they kind of look like that. And the grass has grown all over them. And then adding a bit of light in places again. Playing the game of light and dark. Yeah, something like that. It's a bit different. Just shows you what you can do with your fan brush anyway, and how you can just create ideas and have fun with it. So thanks very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you at another one. Cheers, bye.